Hello, this is Dave from Retired Time Productions, and today we're going to talk about how to do a Magix slideshow the easy way. So this is Magix Slideshow Made Easy. So first thing we need to do is get a project folder going. I like to start with a folder on my desktop and put all the files I'm going to be working with in this folder, so it's my working folder. I even give the folder the title of the movie that I'm going to be doing, just to make it easy. Okay, so inside this folder I have some slides right here, as you can see, for the slideshow. So let's bring them into the timeline. So let's get these files into Details view. I'm going to go up here to View and Details, just using the Explorer from Windows. Now I want to get them all onto the timeline, and the timeline is this icon right here. So we're not going to be in Storyboard or Scene Overview, we're going to be in Timeline View right there. Okay, so we got all the files. Let's just go ahead and select them. I'll just draw a marquee around it. Grab the first one, hold down the mouse button and drag it onto the timeline. And you'll see all the others just fall into place right there. And my slides are already been set to a certain length. Let me show you how that is set in the settings for the program. So let's go to File, Settings, and then we're going to go to Program right here, and then go to the Video Audio tab, and you'll see the standard picture length is set to 6 seconds. And you can change this any amount you want in here, but I have it 6 seconds. And for the timeline, I have half waveform display on the audio. You can change that to full waveform if you want, but half seems fine to me. And I'm using NTSC for USA. And I think that's pretty much it. I automatically create the waveform during import if there is audio, but of course there is no audio right now. We're going to add some later though, so stay tuned.
Welcome to Retired Time Productions.
Now another thing I do in the settings is set the auto adjust to fill the screen for each slide. So I'll go in and show you that. So File, Settings, and we're going to go to Movie this time instead of Program. And then right here, check that, automatically adjust new images to fill screen. Borders are faded out. And I also have used settings as presets for new movies. And you have to pick your resolution. So I've got this one right here. It's 16 by 9 and 1080p. You can see it down here as well. So I've got all that done. And then just click OK. Now let's put our first crossfade in. So we'll select the second image right here, like that, and then we'll click on the AB here, like that. And there's a number of different transitions you can pick here, but we're going to select crossfade, just like that, and you can see after I did it, it automatically showed it to me. Okay, now go back here where the crossfade is and click that again, and this time we're going to go to Apply to All Objects in Track. So we do that, and you'll notice it put a crossfade on every one of the slides, plus it put a fade in effect and a fade out effect at the beginning and end. And if you play this, you can see how it fades in, and if you're over at the end, you can see how it fades out. So all that was done automatically. Very easy. Now keep in mind, if you want to change any of these transitions that are between the slides, you can easily just go in and click this area right here and then pick a different transition. Like we could put say shutter right there. So now you can see how that slides in. So now let's just make our slideshow fit the timeline by hitting this double arrow down here, and that just stretches it out so it fits the timeline. Now we want to go through and check each slide to make sure it has what we want to show in the screen. For example, this one is kind of a vertical thing where there's a lot of black on each side. So let's go ahead and just adjust. And what we're going to do is go to Effects and then View Animation. Now I do realize View Animation in some of the older versions of Magix, this is 2017, but some of the older versions of Magix, it's called Movement Effects. So just keep that in mind. You might have Movement Effects instead of View Animation. Okay, then we go down to Section right here. And what we want to do is make sure we have a 16 by 9 format like our movie project is. So let's go down to 16 by 9 landscape. Alright, so we have that. Now you can see the section that's going to be shown when the slideshow plays. So let's move that where we can see, say, at least the pilot's heads and the windshield right there. Be nice if we could leave it the way it is, but I think we're better off keeping it all 16 by 9. Now you can basically go through and do each slide. Let's look at the first one, for example. Put the pointer over there. And each time I have to go to 16 by 9 landscape. Okay, so now we can kind of adjust that so the plane's in the middle. And then do the third one. Again, 16 by 9. You can change your mind if you don't want 16 by 9, but I'm just doing it this way. And so I'm going to go through each one and adjust them. So here's the last one. 16 by 9. Like that. Just keep interesting items in the marquee. In other words, I didn't need this sky at the top. I just wanted the things that were interesting. The clouds, the water, the mountain, and the road. So sometimes when you're editing your slides, you'll run into a special case. Here's one right here where the slide is actually rotated. So to take care of that, we can go down to Rotation and Mirror. It's still under View Animation right there. And then just click the button, one of these two buttons, just to rotate it. I think it's this one. Yep, there it is. Now we can go back to what we were doing with Section if we want to. You could leave it like that, but you'll have these black borders on each side. Say we don't want those black borders. We could go down to 16 by 9 again, landscape, and then pick the section that we want to see. And so now that one's done. So now we've got them all done. And if we scan through that, you can see that they all fit the 16 by 9 format. So next, let's add some movement effects to our slides. And we want the slides to kind of slide forward or zoom in, zoom out. And that's called movement effects. And that is under View Animation still. And we go to Movement Templates right here. And the ones we're going to be using are mostly down here at the bottom in this section right in here, but you can use any of them if you want. And you can sample them. For example, if we're on a slide right here, and say we go to Zoom Linear 6 right here. Let's play that. You can see how that slowly moves. So that's what you want to do. Just apply some of those, and you can be the judge on it. But you can kind of see from these little icons on each of the icons, it has a dot, and it shows you what direction the slide is going to be moving or whether it's going to be zooming. Okay, so for the first one, let's just do a slow zoom. Let's sample that. So it's a slow zoom in because we're going to be boarding the plane. So what we do is just take the zoom template, drag it down onto the slide, and release. So that's that one. Now let's go to the next one. Let's sample this one. We want to move out on this one, I think. That's why I picked that one. So let's drag that one onto that one. And you can just slowly go through. Maybe we want to slide to the right or something on this one. Let's see how this would work. That's sort of a rotate there, actually. That's kind of cool. Alright, so we'll just drop that on. But you get the idea. And you just go through them all and put movement on any of them you want. So I'm going to do that and then finish up. Okay, I'm on the last one now, and I'm going to use this one here, I believe. Just slowly move out on that flower. Oh, excuse me, there is one more right here. And let's see. Oh, I like that mountain shot. Let's see what this one does. Yeah, I kind of like that. A little bit of rotation in it. I'll put that in. Okay, so we're all done with that. So now let's go in and add some music to our project. And the way we can do that is go to the Import tab, which is right here, and then go to Computer. I'm going to go to my storage drive here, and I have some background audio tracks, and I'm going to use the Audionautics music files, and I'll have to give them credit either in the description of my movie, or I could say it right now. I'm going to be using Audionautics music files, so thanks to them. Go to their website, audionautics.com, and you can download royalty-free music as long as you give them credit. So we can pick any of these, like you can highlight one and then hit the play button, and then you can just listen to it play and see if you like it. I've gone through some of them. I think I'm going to use this one, which is Summer Sidewalk. So I'm going to drag that down and just put it on the timeline. It's just that simple. Alright, it's on the timeline. And if you want to normalize for maximum level, you can right click on the audio track and then click normalize. And that keeps it all pretty much a good level that's good for listening. So I'm just going to put it right there. Maybe bring down the level a little to see how it sounds. Okay, so if I play it, go ahead. There we go. Alright, I'll just leave it right there. See, if I just do this, you can see that the music file is really long compared to the slides. So we need to fix that next. One way to fix that would be just to add more slides, of course. And another way is to adjust the length of each picture. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and click the first slide right here. Then hold down the Shift key and click the last slide. And that selects them all. Then right click anywhere in that section and just change photo length right here. Okay, now I can see I need about twice as much space or twice as much length. So I could change this to a 12 like that, and then click OK and change all selected, and you can see that made it quite a bit longer. Maybe it's a little too long, but there's a way we can correct that too. So another thing we can do is adjust the length of the audio track to match the slides. So that's two ways you can do it. So what we can do is go up here to the object stretch tool, and once we get that, we can actually come down here, and when you get that little icon there, you can stretch the audio out to fit the slideshow. Now we can also take and fade the slide out with the audio, kind of like that. So now we get So to add a caption to your slideshow, it's a little bit different in Magix Movie Edit Pro 2017 with the new update. So under title editing, it's not available there anymore, and you just have your general settings for titles. So in order to get the captions or intros and outros and all that other good stuff, you've got to go to the Templates tab. And then up here where there's a drop down arrow, pull that down, and you can see all the stuff that used to be in the other sections under Effects are now right here, such as movie templates, intro, outro, transitions, title templates, and movie looks. So let's go to Title Templates right there, and we want Captions Basic to get a caption. You can see there's other things you could use, like closing credits or captions, opening, closing. But let's go ahead and go to Captions Basic. And I'm going to take this one right here, and you can play it and test it, see if you like it, by hitting this arrow right here. You can see it come up. Alright, so let's just drag it down. We'll put it on the timeline right where we want it. And then after it comes up, you can put in your text. I'm just going to put in St. John's, Virgin Islands. Oh, there we go. I think I got it. Pardon my spelling if anything's wrong. Alright, so now I got that in. Now if we play it, you can see it fly in right there. So that's how you get that in, and you can do the same thing for an ending. If you want a closing on the movie, you could go back in there, templates, and you could either pick one of these or again do the drop down, and you can go to Title Templates, and let's see, scroll it up here. You got opening and closing credits. So you could put something in there, like let's try this one. Okay, that one's fine. We just have a little something at the end. Let's get it and put it in there. Like that. And I'll just put okay, Finn. How about that? You can put anything you want there. So now when we get to the end right here, just fades out. So that's it. We've pretty much got our slideshow done. Now there's lots of nuances to this. There's a lot of if, ands, and buts, different things you can do, but of course I can't do every one of them because it would take too long to do the movie. But you can see how many variations there might be just in the transitions, the titles, the intros, outros, the music, the fade in, the fade outs. You can do stuff with the audio. So there's a lot you can do to manipulate it. But I'm just giving you the simple way to make a slideshow. Slideshow made easy. So this is it. So now all we have to do is export it. So my favorite export is usually MP4. So I'm just going to go to File and then go Export Movie down to MPEG-4. And we want 1080p. I'm not going to use Transport Stream. I'm just going to use, say, Full HD 1080p right here. And that's it. Now we just got to make sure we know where it's going. So it's going on my P drive in the Movies folder. And there's the title of it right there. And then we can just go ahead and save it. Here we go. Click OK. And it's exporting it. Says it'll take about 8 minutes, 6 minutes, something like that to do it. Okay, almost done. There we go. So there's the finished slideshow, and we're going through each slide, and the movement effects are there, and everything's working great. So I'll put up a logo up here in the upper left hand corner. If you would like to subscribe, go ahead and subscribe, and there's also some movies suggested in the corners as well that you might like to watch. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.